Hey everybody, this is Rich from Bards in the Basement. I am here with the Bards Muse.
Hey everybody.
And welcome to this new podcast thing. We're trying out this new format, which we are tentatively calling Will Quest for Copper. Because...
name pending.
I don't have anything else. This is just always what we use for our Audacity recordings. But what is going on, everybody? Breaking the fourth wall a little bit here. This is a Saturday night. Last night was Friday night. That's how days work. And what did we go see last night?
That movie.
That movie.
That made me cry.
That movie that made you did. You said you didn't cry.
I know, I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I didn't cry.
Apparently, she may or may not have cried.
I didn't.
We went and saw Avengers: Infinity War. You didn't cry, but what did you think?
There's a lot of emotions.
There's a lot of emotions.
Yeah, it was a good movie, but it made me sad. But then I'm like, oh hey, everything's gonna be okay. But then I'm still like sad.
And now, what if...
because you don't know for sure if everything's gonna be okay. You know, like some people are probably going to be okay.
Yeah. Now, I said it when we were leaving, because we're gonna work backwards, I think, for a little bit here. I said when we were leaving and all the superheroes were starting to disintegrate into piles of nothingness. Wow, hey, they're getting rid of all the, newbies, and they're just like they're keeping some of the old guys, with the exception of Rocket. They kept Rocket. They must have plans for Rocket.
Yeah, I thought their choices were weird too. Well, I think everybody did. Like we were thinking Cap was gonna be gone, and Iron Man probably was gonna be gone. Like he was getting to the point where like he kind of wanted to chill.
Yeah. With
Pepper and just take it easy for a while.
It's the perfect time to kill somebody.
Exactly, it's terrible.
More onto that. Somebody pointed out today that if you think about who's left, the original Avengers are left, like from the first movie.
Yeah.
You have Hawkeye possibly somewhere alive.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
Alive though, that hasn't been in. So Ant-Man, all those, we don't know.
So let's pull up this Avengers group shot right here. All those guys are still alive.
That you know of.
Except maybe Hawkeye.
And Hulk's having a temper tantrum, so...
Hulk's having a temper tantrum.
Just have Bruce Banner.
Iron Man, Captain, Thor, and Black Widow are all still alive. And that one chick from Wakanda, I don't remember her name. And actually War Machine, too.
So far, the two chicks from Wakanda, the sister and the warrior.
We don't know if the sister's still alive. We didn't see her fade away, so maybe her too. Which I was kind of hoping.
Get like blown back, but I don't think it was enough to kill her, and they probably would have showed her disintegrating if she had gone.
My initial thoughts of what I thought was going to happen, I thought everybody was going to die except for Doctor Strange. Who was going to...
he's going to be the one that would fix it.
I thought he was going to go back with the Time Stone or some sort of time spell that he made from the Time Stone so he could go back in time and fix everything.
It was like residual magic that he had from the stone.
Something. It's a comic book universe. They
but
could
now,
work
like,
that
somebody else has to figure it out.
Yep.
Because he's not here.
This is why I'm kind of thinking...
His assistant still alive? We didn't see him die, right?
Who's? Sorry?
Doctor Strange's assistant.
I said Wong.
Yeah.
No, we didn't see him die. As far as we know, he is still in the New York Sanctum.
But the stone was gone, so he was going to protect the Sanctum.
This is kind of why I think Black Panther's sister is going to be alive, because I think whatever they build or come up with to fix this, she's going to have to be the lead on that, because she is like a super genius.
Her, Iron Man, and that guy.
Bruce Banner? Or Wong? And Wong. Bruce Banner and Wong, yeah.
Wong.
I think between the four of them...
he has at least some magic.
Yeah. Between the four of them, they can magic / tech / science it out.
It's just getting it. That's the thing.
Yep.
And how? And how?
Wait a minute.
And how? I mean, there's so
this group shot. Okay, same group.
Yeah.
I was wondering if War Machine was there too, but he's not.
No. War Machine's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Winter Soldier's gone.
Ooh, you can't even say that this original poster team, which nobody's going to be able to see this, but you can't even say this original team is still here because Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury, sorry.
Nick Cage.
He's an actor. Yeah, that's my bad.
That's okay. It was adorable. That's true, though. Nick Fury also faded to dust as he was calling Captain Marvel. Spoiler alert on the end credits scene. Oh, yeah, it's going to be plastered spoiler alert on all this. Exactly. So, I'm really going to try not to edit too much of this down. Just some like really big, audio gaps and probably that part right there. All right, everybody's
looking good, though. They're like getting older, but they're still looking good. Just saying.
That's true.
Thor's looking good with the haircut. He's got that fake eye now.
He's got 2 eyes again.
It's two different colors, though.
We all thought it was crazy when we saw the promotional stuff.
Brown and blue?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's weird. I thought for sure he was going to keep the one eye look. Like, I thought it was working.
Because he looks like Odin.
Yeah.
He was a new Odin.
Now he's got that awesome axe thing.
Stormbreaker.
What is that? Yeah, okay.
Stormbreaker.
I don't know anything about that. Other than it's made out of Groot's arm for some odd reason.
It was awesome. And you know what?
It's just like, it's time for me to shine. Let's do this.
Yep. He always has that moment in every movie.
He's just sitting there doing nothing
let it shine.
The whole time.
Yep.
And he was like, they need me right now.
He's like, oh
shit.
Oh.
He burned himself terribly in the process.
That's probably why he cut his arm off. Probably because it hurt.
Or because he was making him a freaking handle. Tree thing! Help me find a handle! Where's the handle?
I am Groot.
With his terrible hands that he doesn't have anymore.
I am Groot. Which I found interesting about his character, too. The Peter Dinklage dwarf character on whatever planet that is. Something with an N. I'm terrible at names.
Giant dwarfs.
With all the other races and all the other planets that Thanos had gone to, he left half of them alive. He wanted balance in the universe. Why did he only keep him alive?
I don't know. I mean, what, were there 300 dwarves there?
He said something like that. He at least said hundreds.
I think he said 300.
Did he say 300?
Yeah, I think he did.
But it doesn't fit Thanos' MO there to only keep one of them alive, unless he was scared that they were going to, create something.
And then he took his hands. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, well, he's only saving the one guy, but he can't do anything because he turned his hands into whatever he did.
Metal or stone or something.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody. I don't know enough about the planet. Like, does everybody make something? Is everybody?
I don't know. I've never read into anything about that.
More information is needed.
More information is needed. Now, I find it interesting because he didn't just turn his hands to stone or whatever. If you really think about the implications of that, he probably had stuff going. He was heating metal. And Thanos shoved his hands in there and then just let them cool. That's torture.
And then while he was in agony, he just went around and killed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't just snap his finger and kill everyone. He had to actually go around
and kill all these giants.
The whole rings. Kill everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dark. That was a dark movie.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the worst part first?
Sure.
Let's get this out of the way. The scene with Spider-Man and Tony. It hurt my soul. He's grabbing onto him, just like, please, Mr. Stark, please,
to go.
Please, I don't want to die. Please, I'm not ready to go.
It was like all these people were like vanished, and then they made all the heroes die super slowly.
Yep,
it's terrible
because they all had extra powers and stuff, so it probably took a little bit more for their physicality to melt away. Is how I think they justify it.
Nah, there is no justification. They just did it for the movie. It's a movie.
Was something else I read or heard or something. He says a line right before he starts to dissolve. He goes, "Mr. Stark, I feel funny."
Yeah.
Nobody else really said that.
Time. Yeah, everybody else was just like
they
looked at their hand and then they were gone.
Yeah. He said, "Mr. Stark, I feel funny," and it was pointed out that's probably his spider sense. He could sense something was coming before it did.
Yeah. Spider sense was tingling.
So that was crazy. And I mean...
Anyway, he's still, he disappeared. Yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah.
For him to go.
That part hurt. That part hurt a lot. I mean, seeing all your favorite heroes that you've been watching for years melt into nothing.
Yeah.
Even though it's a comic book movie, you know they're not dead forever. At least some of them. That one hurt. They made that connect with the audience. Especially if you've been watching movies lately.
He had just gotten in.
He had just...
That day, he was like...
Tony told him to go home.
And then he died. He was just gone. Like, hey, you got the thing you wanted, and now we're going to kill you.
Yep.
But then, Doctor Strange knew what was going to happen. And he watched it all go down. And he was, like, the last one to go.
When you see something at the very end, they're like, this was the only way.
Right. This is the 1 out of 4 million.
Yeah. Meaning, like, Tony, this was supposed to happen.
Right. Now you're in the end game. It's on you now.
Yeah.
Like, you have to help everybody else. But how the fuck is he going to get back?
Time machine. I'm telling you, they're going to build a time machine.
How is he going to make a time machine? He doesn't have anything. He has
half
of a tech suit.
Where he is now, sure. But Nebula can get him out of Titan.
I forgot Nebula was there.
Nebula's
I was
still
thinking
alive.
He's all alone.
Nope, Nebula's still alive. I think she was the only one left on Titan.
Yeah.
Because the Guardians died and everybody else. She can build a spaceship or find a spaceship or something. Get them off Titan. Let them regroup. Come up with a plan. I think they're going to build a time machine. And I totally wouldn't have thought this, but photos have been surfacing lately of the OG Avengers back in their original Avengers costumes. They have Tony Stark walking around with his Black Sabbath shirt on. They have Steve Rogers in his Captain America suit. All stuff being shot like last month.
Yeah, but it could be just like flashbacks.
It could be flashbacks. It could be additional scenes. No, it's very specifically New York. It's very specifically the same clothes. So either they're going.
They could bring up the flashback at any time in the movie. Hey, remember when we did this? Whatever, back in New York, whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean they could try to sneak something else in, but I think they're going back mainly for one reason.
Far?
Mainly that was when Thanos first attacked. That was when the Tesseract first came to Earth, and the Mind Stone. You had the Tesseract, the Mind Stone, and then technically the Time Stone all on Earth at the same time.
Well, then that would save everybody. I didn't think they were gonna save everyone. I thought they were gonna let some of them.
I don't know if that's at the point it's gonna reset, or if they're just going back there to steal the stones first, and then bring them back to another time.
Oh, maybe.
So I don't know. It could play out that way. But the one dead giveaway, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's backwards in time. Because I'm fairly confident Ant-Man was there too. That's why I don't think it's necessarily a flashback. I think they are going back in time.
Because Ant-Man wasn't there.
Ant-Man wasn't there in the first one. Scott Lang Ant-Man, not Hank Pym.
Yeah.
So
they would have to go get something made to hold the stones then. Because, nobody could just pick them up and use them. Yeah,
but this, and then there's been... So there's this picture here that we have of Mark Ruffalo in his motion capture suit. Captain America with his hair back like it was.
Shaved, no beard.
Shaved, no beard. You got Tony Stark.
Just in a tracksuit.
He's in a tracksuit, but in another shot, I just couldn't find it when I was scrolling here. That black suit the black shirt underneath is his Black Sabbath shirt.
Yeah.
And then you have Ant-Man standing next to everybody. Mm-hmm. So, given the circumstances of what we've seen, and they're just cracking up at something somebody said, this is kind of funny. They all got these weird watch kind of pieces on.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, is it?
That's probably to bring them back in time. Maybe that's a stabilizer.
Their own tech.
Yeah, maybe it's a stabilizer.
Not
especially
stone.
Like after Avengers: Infinity War, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we have Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. And we know Captain Marvel's set in the 90s. And I said this yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see where Ant-Man and the Wasp is set. If it's set leading up to Infinity War, right after Infinity War, or where the timeline is.
Yeah.
Because given where that is in relation, they could also have Hank Pym helping to work on this stuff. And they could have the quantum realm and whatever else. There could be, because Hank Pym said it in the original Ant-Man movie, he goes, the quantum realm is a place where time means nothing.
Right.
Seconds can stretch to millenniums, and millenniums could be in seconds. Like, they don't know how it works. So I think if they harness something in the quantum realm, that could give them their time travel.
Right. But, Thanos has the time stone, so he could just quite easily just go back in time with them.
But the way the time stone works is it takes a lot of energy, and it goes back very slowly. Remember in in Doctor Strange when he's doing his little hand movements and everything's
Yeah.
just kind of going back seconds,
Right.
seconds. And he even did it with Vision. It took a lot out of him to pull it backwards. He might, but then again, the glove was charred at the end, and so was like half his arm.
What about when he was sitting at the end in the?
I don't know if he even had the gauntlet on him.
I don't remember. So I was thinking, like, I don't remember seeing it, or it wasn't charred anymore. That's what he said he was going to do at the end after he did it.
Sit down and enjoy a sunset and
Right.
bask in the glory of the job well done.
Something like that.
So
I'm just thinking, like, the glove is, strong enough to hold it, but how many times can you use it before? Because it's not made out of the stones.
Yeah, especially with, like, the full power of the stones being used.
How many times can you use it before it just crumbles?
So working backwards a little bit more.
Maybe he has multiple gauntlets.
We did see one. We did see one. We did see one in Odin's vault.
A collection of them.
But somebody made reference, I think, in another movie, or one of the directors said that was a fake. The one in Odin's vault. That wasn't the real one. That was just an Easter egg. And then we goofed up, so that one wasn't real.
Mm.
Odin thinks it's real, but that one wasn't real. But then there's rumor that there's actually another one out there somewhere. In the comic books, there was another one, and Adam Warlock had it. I think. Don't quote me on this. I didn't actually read the comic, so because Adam Warlock was at the time the strongest being in the universe.
How does that compare with Captain Marvel?
I don't know how her power level is supposed to be in this.
Mm.
She's kind of like a 10-ton nuke mixed in with Superman usually. But then we had this conversation in the car the other night, like, where is she during this whole thing? Why hasn't she been here since the first Avengers?
Why are they just now paging her?
Like, that's what I think.
Like with that whole thing in New York. Yeah. It's just... They could have used her. Like, can she not control her powers? Like, what is it?
That's what I think it is.
Is she in training?
I think it's a control thing. I honestly think at the end of her movie, she's going to be asked to be locked up. And maybe that pager thing that Nick Fury uses, like, unlocks her cell and sends a beacon to come help. Like, this is how bad it got.
Right, like, we don't care if you blow everything up because shit's already wrecked.
Yeah.
It's worth the risk.
Now, can we go back and talk about the best part of the movie?
What part is that?
When Thor shows up and fucking saves the day for like 5 minutes.
For like 5 minutes, and then he's like, I'm tired, guys. So, like, he just starts swinging his thing around again. Like, he only blasted him, like, one good time.
He was... What?
Well, I'm just saying, like, when they opened the shield, and he showed up, he, like, did one big thing, and then after that, he was, like, killing one by one again. Like, I understand, like, you run out of power.
He was flying through, he was smacking them down, he was lightning bolting some of them.
I mean, he was kill with the first thing that he did.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot.
Like, just, like, take 5 minutes and rest, and then go do that again. Like, to the point of exhaustion because people are dying.
Because that would have been as cinematic and amazing. Thor really was the MVP of this movie. It's like he knew everything that was going on.
Because he had lost everything.
Yeah.
He had nothing left.
It was good. It was good. The Russo brothers did a good job in that, in the writing of that. I thought his axe was pretty cool. I don't think, when Thanos says, should have aimed for the head, I don't think he would have killed him with a headshot. I don't. I think he had too much power being himself, and then plus the Infinity Stones.
Mm.
I don't think he would have died, per se. I think he would have got hurt. He could have had a chance to seal the gauntlet. But I don't think it would have been an instant kill. That being said, that was really cool to see it just break right through all of Thanos' power he was throwing at him. That was pretty sick.
Well, Thor.
Huh?
Well, it is Thor.
It's true.
It's God. Thanos is trying to be one. Yeah, quote unquote.
God.
He's more of a god than Thanos is, without the glove.
He's revered by people as a god.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he's just another alien. He just lives a long time. He can channel electric powers. He's not technically a god. At least that's not the way they set it up. I don't know. I mean, no, because Odin said it. He's like, the humans think we're gods. We're not. We live, we die. We live a lot longer than they do. But anyways, I thought that was a badass part. I don't think Captain really didn't have, like, a lot going on in the movie.
No.
Like, he shows up, he bailed out Scarlet Witch.
Like this badass roguey dude. And then I pop in. Everyone's like, where have you been? Oh my god, how you doing? And then, like, that's it.
He popped in, had his moment with War Machine.
He got knocked the fuck out.
And then final battle stuff, He popped in and, got Winter Soldier going again. And everybody thought Winter Soldier was going to have a big part in this because, he's healed now from the Hydra influence and he's the White Wolf. And that was a cool little post-credit scene. And, he had his vibranium hand and then he didn't do much with it.
I love how Rocket was like, I'm going to have that. That's mine. Like, how the fuck are you going to get that?
How much for the gun?
Arm?
Not for sale. How much for the arm? I'll get the arm. See, what I want to see is I want to go back and see when his body dissolved, if the arm dissolved. Because it wasn't technically part of him. It was a vibranium arm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Rocket can have it now.
Because that would be cool.
Yeah, Rocket might have that arm right now.
I need that guy's eye.
I was just super pissed when Scarlet finally freaking went to go destroy the crystal and Thanos was just right there to...
Just think about it. If she had done that
Don't.
earlier in the movie...
It doesn't even matter because he could have rewound time to that point and would have gotten it anyways. But, like, if she had done it sooner, like, all those people, like, half the people wouldn't have died during the battle.
Yeah.
Like, all the Wakanda people wouldn't be dead because the stone would have been gone. They would have never came for it in the first place.
She should have done that sooner. Star-Lord should have been such a dick.
Those, hot-headed.
Yeah.
Very hot-headed.
Yep.
They literally just told him, like, don't engage with them. Don't engage with them. You'll fuck the whole thing up.
Yep. Don't do it.
And
don't do it.
Mantis just lost it. Like, she had no grip on him.
He just...
Now he's gone. Girl's gone.
They had it at the very end. Like, it didn't look like they were making any progress.
Yeah.
And at the very
Spider-Man
end...
almost had it off,
at the very end,
himself.
he started coming back too.
Yeah.
You could see the glove slipping out of his hand. Yeah. He just yanks it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so rough.
Bye, Spider-Man.
It was so close. It was so close.
She's so strong, though. Be able to put him to sleep. Well, almost.
Almost, yeah.
Still.
The fact that
she could even get to that point.
Yeah, she was using all of her power on that.
Yeah.
It was a good plan, though. It was
She was knocked out after that. Spider-Man had to, like, catch her.
Yeah.
And Drax. They were, like, flying in the air.
It was...
Gotcha. Don't worry, I got you too. It's alright.
I like when Peter's floating around through the portals. He's like, magic! Ah!
Oh my god.
More magic!
Like, how are you ready for this? Like, you didn't see the vision that Doctor Strange had. Like, how did he know what to do? Like, hey, I'm gonna pop you in over here, like, over there, over
Spider
there,
sense probably helped him a lot with that. He knows where the portal's going. He knows where, he could probably tell, like, right before it, opened, where it was opening.
Right.
That's the cool thing about having slight precognitive powers. Now, who shouldn't have known where those steps were gonna be? The Doctor Strange Peter Quill thing.
Star-Lord, yeah.
That was...
Like, how... Yeah.
Yeah, that one was just luck.
Like, what if he had been knocked out and he wasn't able to make the steps for him?
He also has the ankle boosters. He could have blasted himself and floated there for a second. Yeah. But he wouldn't have got the good shots on like he did.
Right. Like it mattered. Didn't.
Mm-mm.
Shots aren't enough.
Alright, let's rewind a little bit more. The scene with Gamora and Thanos on that other planet.
How did she not know? Like, she had to have known that he loved her.
That's the thing. She was so...
I mean, she was pissed and she hated her legs and blah, blah, blah. But, like, he kept her for that long and saved her.
But he kept his other children. Those children, none of them were his kids.
Yeah.
They were all creatures that had good power that he found and took under his wing. I don't know. I think...
She was always the favorite, though.
The writing... She
was the strongest. That's why he kept on her...
No. But between her and Gamora, yeah. But
Nebula.
between Gamora and Nebula, yeah. But between the other four kids, no. I'd say Nebula was probably bottom, and then the weird little hobgoblin looking guy, and then the chick, and then Gamora, and then the big hulking guy, and then the guy with the mind power shit, because that guy was freaking crazy.
Really all considered his kids, though?
Yeah.
Did he all, like, he raised all of them?
I don't know about raised. I think he found them all at different ages, but then called them all his children.
You could hire somebody and say, you're working for me or whatever, or you want to support my cause, but, like, they're not his kids. Like, he raised them from...
In the comics, I believe he considers them his children. He calls them his children.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody was saying. The Black Order, that's... that scene, I liked how Thanos cried. I liked that. I don't think Gamora's lines were well written at all. I think it was a little too... it was a little awkward. The way she was like yelling at him, like, ha, you know, and just... But it wasn't... I don't know, it felt kind of out of character for her.
It was like mocking.
Like it tried to get deep, but it was still mocking, but it wasn't just mocking enough like a normal person would.
Oh, she's also not a normal person.
It wasn't deep enough like a dramatic moment. It was somewhere in between, and it kind of felt off to me. But having Red Skull be the keeper of the Soul Stone, oh my god! You know, you saw, you felt. Mm. I was freaking out in my seat.
I think everybody was freaking out in their seat. It was like intense in that theater for a second. Almost.
Just, what? Because there's been rumor after rumor after rumor for years that Red Skull's making a comeback somewhere. He has to. He's like one of the most iconic Captain America villains. He is just chilling. He can't get the Soul Stone. He can't go back.
Oh, but there was nobody else with him. Like, nobody ever tried to get the Soul Stone?
He probably did, because that's the only reason he would know that stuff.
Did he replace that person, and they got to move on?
Maybe.
So is he waiting for somebody to replace him?
We will probably never know the answer to that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, there had to have been more than one, because he hasn't been there for that long. And the Soul Stone's been in existence forever.
70, 80 years?
Yeah, I think he said a lifetime. So I think that part, and when
he was part spectral at that point.
Stabbed. Is the only two parts where I had to stop looking at the screen for a second. Like when
Gamora got thrown in, or
no, when I saw Red Skull there, I was really surprised. I was like, it looks like a Dementor. Like, what is this?
Yeah, he was
Harry
half
Potter?
Spectral. It was
and
weird.
Then all of a sudden, the face, and I was just like, oh my god, there's a person in there. Like, I thought it was just gonna be like a black spirit. Like, I wasn't expecting anything else. And I was just like, what the fuck?
The beginning of the movie felt really fast, really loose, really clunky, really... Okay, the very beginning of the movie felt perfect. Thanos boarded the ship, all back and forth with Loki and Thor, killing Loki.
Everything went really smooth, and then all of a sudden they, cut.
Yep.
There was hey, let's go check out Vision and Scarlet Witch. Like, where did this even come from?
Yep.
There was no,
Vision, Scarlet Witch.
Nobody was, talking about him or anything. And then just all of a sudden it was just there.
Yeah. We're going to go to New York City, because that's where, that's where Hulk fell. But Hulk fell there, and then all of a sudden, Doctor Strange is, bam, right in the middle. Hey, Tony, we need you to go look at things. So all of a sudden, you have Tony, you have Doctor Strange, you have the Hulk,
and nobody knows
Wong,
anybody.
All in the same spot.
So it's all just, recapping. Who are you? What do you do? What happened?
Which, their scenes back and forth were fucking hysterical. Can't say they more.
Sure they did a lot more.
Oh,
I feel like
they
just cut so much out of that they probably could have used.
But the whole you're embarrassing me in front of my new wizard friend was just
I think it was so cheesy.
It was too good.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man just shows up. So they're like, all right, we already have a mini Avengers team here. We got Magic, we got Mutant, we got Tech. And
they're against two people. And they get friggin' rocked.
They did. They got
rocked
so rocked.
Bad. That mental guy was so good. I don't even know what that guy's name was, but...
Ebony Maw. Thanos says, I assume you killed the Maw. In which, he might not be dead. He floated off into space, but...
that's what I was thinking, too. I'm like, he's so powerful. That's why I said he's going to be so pissed when he was out in there. Because I'm like, I bet you he's not dead.
But then they said that the little guy was dead, because he got stabbed. But then he ended up being alive, and he goes after Vision later in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then Black Widow kicked the tall bitch into the big floating thing, and she gets the blood on her.
Shit. Yeah, it was blue blood everywhere.
Blue blood on her.
You don't know for sure. Disgusting. There's no body. There's nothing. So there's nothing.
The big guy, I think, actually died because you saw him get, his flesh was being ripped apart on the, perimeter of the...
Oh, yeah, it was just burning.
Yeah.
From the shield thing.
Yeah, his body was just disintegrating on that, yeah. So I think he's dead. I think the horn chick might be dead. Ebony Maw might be dead.
Thing?
Yeah, it was it looked like grinding gears. So if she got stuck in between that and just whoosh, she could have just imploded. Now, the little Gamma guy, I don't remember what happened to him at the end. Oh, didn't Vision stab him? Vision stabbed him through the back.
with his own weapon.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that yellow one. Yeah, the yellow one.
Yeah. So he's probably dead.
That's
so if all four of those children are dead, Gamora's dead now. The only child of Thanos left is Nebula.
The worst one.
Literally
the weakest
worst
link.
One. Literally
Even though he
the
tried
worst
to make her better, she's still the worst one with all that tech.
It's so weird that he just kept putting tech into her instead of like trying to find another kid. Maybe her being around made Gamora better. So maybe that's why he kept her around.
Maybe.
Interesting theories, though. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. The beginning was it was fast and loose with, and then all of a sudden, like, the Guardians were going to this distress signal. Like, why would we go to this distress signal? Because they might have money. Ha 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 ha. Bam. Guardians. Thor. Thor leaves. Guardians go to this place. Guardians run into Thanos. Thanos has already been here. That whole they just completely side-skirted the whole, Thor was like, oh, so Thanos doesn't have any of the Infinity Stones. Like, wrong. He has 2. He just got the Tesseract, and he got the Power Stone because he destroyed Xandar a week ago. It was such a throwaway line, and they just all went, what? And then Thor's just like, I have to go. And nobody ever mentions it again. That was a huge part of the first Guardians movie. The whole thing with Xandar, and it's just like, you know a lot of those characters now, and it's just like half of them are dead at least. Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
There's so much to take in. And it was the whole Wakanda fight. It should have been over so much faster.
There was how many freaking things did they have?
How many what?
The
weird dog
creatures.
things?
Yeah,
millions.
The Demodogs.
Thousands, I wouldn't say millions.
Ridiculousness.
Thousands of them.
Some of them actually got through the barrier.
The fact that they were killing themselves just trying to get through the barrier, that was sick.
Like they were starving. Those things had to have been like starving, like dying.
They were coming through. They were getting sliced off.
Like how did the rest get in? I don't know. Like the others were breaking the barrier so much that they just slid through a crack in the wall. Like what?
Wait a minute. Going back to that whole chopping pieces off.
Yeah, they're losing arms, legs.
Heads. In the beginning, when they were fighting in Central Park, and Wong opens up the portal and throws the big guy through it.
He lost his hand.
He's lost his hand.
Yeah.
Did you ever get it back or something at the end? Like, I kind of want to go back and watch it and see like what they did with that, because he was back in the final fight.
Maybe Thanos figured out a way.
Maybe he had a robotic arm at that point, but I wasn't paying attention because by that point so much had happened I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, he did chop his hand right off.
I wonder if the editors made note of that too. Now,
he was fighting the whole time. So
yeah, I have a picture pulled up here on the computer. It's the same picture, same clip that they were teasing us with. This is the whole selling point to the movie, because you have War Machine, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Captain America, well, Nomad, whatever he is now, Black Panther, his general, which I don't remember her name, guys, sorry, she's like an African tribeswoman, and the Hulk here running through the jungle towards something.
For real, wasn't it all like flat grassland that they were running through?
Exactly, it was all flat grass, so...
Yep, there was no trees until after Vision was in the forest. That's the only time they went in there.
Yep.
Final fight was in the forest.
So, it's weird. Was this, was it reshoots, or was it, was this just made for the promotional, so they wouldn't give too much away? Because the thing, we saw Hulk in the very beginning, first scene, and then we didn't see him again.
I think he was just scared. He's like, dude, I got hurt so bad, I don't want to come out.
It's a good theory, definitely plausible. But
I also think, like, they probably couldn't use him. Like what you said before.
I don't know, because I was thinking about it, like, after, I was like, he was in there.
He was for a minute, yeah.
He was in the very beginning. I think either something Thanos did to him, or he is just, the Hulk is scared. He doesn't want to get his ass kicked again. He knows that he's no match for this guy, so he'd rather sacrifice Banner than himself.
Yeah, but what happens if Banner dies?
Hulk takes over his body. I don't know the rules.
It's be like a radioactive chemical, right? Like, how is it going to stay alive?
I don't know the rules about it in the cinematic universe. I mean, he did it before when Banner, well, in the deleted scene of The Incredible Hulk, Ed Norton puts a gun in his mouth and shoots it, and then his eyes glow yellow, and he starts transforming into the Hulk. And Mark Ruffalo made a comment about that in the first Avengers movie. He was like, "You can't kill me. I've tried.
Right.
Things got low. Put a bullet in my mouth, and the other guy spit it out. I don't know."
I don't think that Bruce. I don't think he would be alive. Because if he didn't want to be a part of Bruce anymore, he would have just let Bruce die.
Unless he can't. Unless it's like a thing where like
I think
you can't suffocate yourself by holding your breath. Your body won't let you. It's physically impossible.
Well, isn't there a way to sedate his Hulk side?
That's shown so far in the movies. Just keeping his heart rate down.
Right.
And I mean, it seemed like he had better control over it, you know, from the last couple movies. But
well, yeah, he's been working on it for years.
And the new.
Like, he shouldn't even been in it at this point. Like, it was just a waste. I would have rather had Ant-Man.
It was kind of fun seeing him in the new Hulkbuster armor, though. Just
terrible. It was so depressing.
Just not know what to do.
Yeah, and like he lost his arm off of it.
Yep.
Used it on the bad guy, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, that's how he got.
Stuck it on, and
that's
flew
how,
away.
That's how he hurt himself. Yeah.
In the shield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably on that arm that got chopped off.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Oh, you mean he attached it to that?
It was
Maybe.
The guy, right? That's the hand. Yeah, he lost a hand. I don't know if it was his left or right, but he did stick his arm.
Oh.
His thing right on his arm.
Weird.
So.
He stuck his thing right in his arm.
A Hulkbuster armor on the arm. Yeah, I mean.
So, I mean, in this shot, like, I mean, given the promotional stuff, too, I mean, we have seen some of the other shots that were altered. By this point, when Cap is holding the glove, he had 4 Infinity Stones. But in the promotional stuff...
I love how, like, Thanos was so impressed. Yeah. Like, Rogers was holding his glove open so that he couldn't use it.
But in the movie, he had 4. In the promotional, he only has 2.
Well, they don't.
It only showed him in the entire promotional having these 2.
That's what he had in the beginning of the movie. It's like, he pretty much had the 2.
Yeah, he had the 1.
He got the Tesseract one right in the beginning, the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
And they obviously didn't want you to know how many he'd gotten to. Now,
the one thing, I was saying it, I've been saying it since I saw the movie. I will say it again. I'm very upset that the Thanos theory did not come to pass.
Oh, for the letters.
Anyone that does not know the Thanos theory, the 6 Infinity Stones are in 6 places that spell out Thanos' name. T for the Tesseract, which is a space stone. We didn't know where H was, but then we had A for the Ether, which was the Reality Stone. N for the necklace, for the Eye of Agamotto, which they just called necklace for the first little bit there in the promotional stuff. Was the Time Stone. O was the Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy, which had the Power Stone. Power Stone. Ether was Reality Stone. Did I do that right?
I think you said it, yeah.
Okay.
Ether was Reality.
And then S was Scepter, which was the Loki's Scepter, which had the Mind Stone in it.
Where did he get the Mind Stone from?
Thanos gave it to him. Where did Thanos get the Mind Stone from? No clue, but I think that's what left him.
So Thanos gave Loki the stone to put in the scepter and then took it back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They said it, I think, at one point in the movie, like or in a different movie, you made a gamble, giving him the stone, one of your stones to find another. So that's why, and then he didn't end up with either of them until, he ended up with 2 of them right away in the movie. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It's like, the theory was awesome. Because people are saying, it's gotta be Heimdall. Because Heimdall starts with an H. Dude has glowing orange eyes. In the first Thor movie, in his armor, he has a Infinity Stone size stone in his armor. And he even makes the point he can see into the souls. He can see into the eyes of trillions of souls. Trillions of souls. It's very specific wording. Tell me that wasn't originally supposed to be the Soul Stone.
It probably was.
It's on the Tree of Life. He's got the glowing orange eyes. And in the vision that Thor had in Avengers 2, Heimdall has no eyes.
So somebody took the stone.
And he's like, they're coming. He's coming. And don't you see we're all dead? And all this other stuff. And people are like, oh my god, the Soul Stone is totally either in Heimdall or on Heimdall's person. And it fits the H, everything fits. And then Black Panther came out.
Yeah.
And then people are like, the herb. Herb starts with H. Heart of Wakanda starts with H. They're like, it's the herb. He was able to see into the souls in that soul land, with all the past kings of Wakanda. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the H. It's got to be the herb. It's got to be here. It's on Earth. And I'm thinking that's way too many Infinity Stones to be on Earth, first of all.
Right.
That would be... At one point, there were 4 of them on Earth.
Well, I was going to say, they didn't all start there. They just sent them there.
Yeah.
To be safe.
Well, they sent the Tesseract there to be safe.
Right.
Technically, at one point, there would be 5 if that was the case.
Right.
If it was the herb...
All in one place, that is just so fucking dangerous. That's insane.
Because the ether was going in and out of the Earth.
Yeah.
The Tesseract was on Earth. At that point in Shieldcast. No, actually that was on. Actually, yeah, that was on Asgard at the time. So never mind. There was still only before. But at one point there was the Mind Stone with the scepter, the Tesseract, the necklace, and then if the herb had been there for thousands of years on Wakanda, that would have been 4 sitting here for 3 of them
out of the entire universe. 4 of them landed here.
3 of them for a long time because the Asgard sent the Tesseract to Earth thousands of years ago. The herb would have been there for 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. And then the necklace had been there for thousands of years. That would have been 3 there for thousands of years. That would have been crazy.
Right.
Plus the scepter was there for, a couple years. That would have been too much.
Yeah.
But I'm really, I don't know. I'm really disappointed this didn't end up being the thing. Because the planet that the Soul Stone was on was something with an N. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But that doesn't fit our Thanos theory. But then I'm like, okay, maybe the necklace is somewhere else. But then you have to move everything around.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if somebody had taken it from him? They tried to use it on themselves.
But his eyes were still orange. In this movie.
So maybe that's his own thing. Maybe it's not related to the stone.
But then why would they make such a point to make his eyes... They were black. They weren't gone. They were black.
Yeah, but he was losing his vision. Because everybody was dying. So he couldn't see them anymore. Like, he was losing his powers at that point. So then the power in his eyes was going down. That's the only thing I could think of.
I don't know.
Like, did Red Skull say how long the stone had been there on that planet? Like,
I don't recall. He said many men have tried, or many beings have tried and failed. Because you have to kill off the thing that you love the most.
I just feel like a lot of people would do that if they knew it was there.
Could you, though?
Me, no, but a lot of people could.
Huh. People like that, I see. There's a problem in that thinking is people like that, are they capable of loving something? Gamora didn't think so. Gamora's like, oh, you don't love anybody but yourself, so I win. You either kill yourself and get the Soul Stone, which you're dead, or, I win. Because you don't love anything. And then he's like, ha, fooled you, I love you. Pff, die. So, I mean, that's why Red Skull couldn't get it. He didn't love anything, nor did he have anything there that he could sacrifice that he loved. Even if he loved something back on Earth, he wasn't there.
Right.
It's got deep, everyone. It's got deep.
Like, Gamora knew where the stone was, but she didn't know the sacrifice he would have to make.
No, she had no stipulation. She what was it? She found a map.
Oh, a map to get there. She
found a map to get there, and then she burned it. There were times I wish the movie was longer. I wish, they could have elaborated on some more stuff. I mean, it's already a really long movie, but it didn't feel that way when you were watching it.
There was just a lot going on. You're going in and out of all these different places. You're following groups of people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what's going on this planet, and now we're over here with these guys on this one.
Yep, could have done. I could have went for another hour in that movie just to make some things,
clear,
a little more concise. Yeah, not feel as rushed. Definitely a good movie, though. Definitely good, terrible, amazing, sad,
overwhelming movie.
Yes.
All of those memes are true that you've seen. All
of them. They're all true. But at this point, you've seen the movie, so you know. You already know what it is. Should we talk about our actual movie-going experience? This is the earliest I've ever been to a movie. The earliest I've ever been to a movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
We're there 40 minutes early.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, in the day. I'm like, what are you talking about? Haven't you seen, like, a...
No.
Gone for, like, a nooner or something? Come on.
No, this,
We were there mad early. day.
Oh, we were there so
Screen wasn't
early.
even on yet.
Screen wasn't on. We got our popcorn really early. We went back there. We sat down. We downed most of that popcorn before because we were there so early before the movie even started.
Yep.
Like 3/4 of that
and
popcorn
I was
was
like, hey, maybe
gone.
I'll get a refill before the movie actually starts. And then it didn't happen because you weren't helping me eat.
We were in there. We were the
second
group of people to walk in. We sat down right in the middle, middle of the theater, middle of the row. Things were perfect, and then the next set of people come in, sit like 2 rows behind us, and they're a little chatty, like no big deal. A few more people start filing in, and then somebody comes directly behind us. Dude's like standing up, like complaining about where's this thing and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I hope this isn't going to be a thing. And then right before the previews were about to start, like 6 kids walked in, just sat right next to us in the row, and then in the row behind for 2 of them, like one of them and the mom or something. And these fucking kids, oh my god!
Every time somebody new popped up, oh hey, that's Thanos. Like, thank you. We needed that clarification.
Not even just that. Like, that one kid that was closest to you, he got up and left the theater probably
3
about,
times.
I was going to say 6. There's so many times. Because I remember
saying, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then he would step on that freaking plastic
Yep.
bowl that was on the floor that nobody picked up the entire time. And I ended up throwing it in the trash at the end of the movie.
And this kid, every time he came back, and he's standing up and he's watching the movie standing up. And every single time, his mother yanked him down into the seat.
It's like watching Alexa watch TV.
Which, I'm glad we weren't behind him, because I probably would have said some shit. Like, sit him down. Don't let him go to the bathroom again. But their whole little group was just,
I don't think the mom would have done shit.
They were so loud. They just... I'm glad we weren't closer to them.
Opening weekend. This room is full of geeks right now. Do you really want to do this?
It's a PG-13 movie anyway.
It's not a good idea.
Tell your 9-year-olds they can watch it later. There was a lot of really, really young kids in there. Yeah. For what it was. I'm like... That one dad had to bring his kids to the bathroom a few times. And they were just loud and stomping the whole way back. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst movie-going experience. I mean, with the exception of those few distractions, everybody was really good. Nobody was on their phones too much. The one person kind of in front of me, over to the left, I saw him check his phone a couple times. And it wouldn't be a big deal, but his screen brightness was all the way up, so it was kind of blinding for a second. Just, what are you doing, man? And the movie's really well lit anyway, so it was that big of a deal. But I checked my phone once just because it was going off like crazy. Not actually going off, it was vibrating in my pocket like crazy. Because my Discord likes to go off all the time. Apparently I'm too popular.
Like 5 different groups.
I'm in 3. Well, plus my own.
So they go all day. Especially in the evenings.
Yeah.
So everybody's hot.
Everybody was on.
Everyone's watching.
Waiting around for that post-credit scene felt like it took hours. And it wasn't like it was fun credits. Like all the other movies, they've had like cool things floating around screen and like cool little doodads. This one, they wanted to show how somber this ending was. It was literally just white names on black cards. And then when Avengers Infinity War popped up, and then it faded away like all the characters did.
That was fucking depressing. It's the worst.
And then the stinger right before the post-credits scene. Thanos will return. I'm like, you really? Fucks. Usually it says stuff like the Avengers will return, or the Guardians will return, or Thor will return. It's Thanos will return. Thanks for that. I need that in my life.
Just rub it in a little more.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
It's like, all right.
We failed. Good job. Thanks, everybody.
Apparently we fighting Thanos again.
Shocker.
See, and now I wonder, what's the sequel going to be titled? Is it going to be Infinity War Part 2? Or is it going to be like, we take back Earth, bitches? Alright, we take back Earth.
It's not like he took it. He literally just killed half the people on it. But that's what he did on every planet that he went to.
The Avengers 4. Wibbly wobbly timey boopy. There's a slight Doctor Who reference in there somewhere. I just don't know the exact line. I'm sorry, Whovians. I am not one of you. Well, any last thoughts? Anything else you wanna say to the people?
No. That's all.
That's all?
That's all she wrote.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to do more of these podcasts. Maybe not as long. This is over an hour before editing, so.
Well, we'll cut it a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of blank space in there.
We'll cut it down.
We were contemplating life.
I'm still guessing it's going to be at least a 45-minute episode, so. But.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but if you like what you hear, if you want to hear more of this, if you want to hear us have guests, maybe if you want to hear something else, let us know in the comments below. This is going to be uploaded to YouTube.
Welcome to YouTube.
Maybe if enough people in the group want to hear it, maybe I'll broadcast it on Twitch one day.
The Twitch.
As like a one of those broadcast events. I don't know how that works. I might have to see
how
how
other
that works.
people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But they like video record and just strip the audio and podcast it up.
Except it'd be different because we've already done that. So then it would be like, what was it, an auto program or something? I can't remember the terminology for it. Schedule a program or something.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that.
There's a button. You can schedule a video to go up.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah. So let us know. I'm gonna at least try to do this every week, every 2 weeks. Sit down and do stuff. The Muse might not be with me every time, but we'll see. It would be kind of nice. But hey, everybody, thanks for listening. I'm Rich. This is Bards in the Basement. This is the Bards Muse.
I'm me. Hi. That's me.
And we'll catch you next song.